and they said, oh, it's the guy who did the clown from It. And I was like, seriously? Like, that's going to be the guy who's kicking everybody's ass, the clown?
Congrats on this absolutely batshit movie that you've just made. I cannot wait for people to see it. It's just completely singular cinematic achievement. I'm not gonna lie, it's insane. How would you guys like each sort of describe like the tone of this movie? Because it does feel sort of, like I said, it just feels singular.
Well, I thought he sent us all an animatic, right, of what his vision was. Yeah, this little short film that had none of the actors that wound up in the actual movie, but it felt like this sort of anime-inspired, also video game-inspired. But then it was really fitting when I found out that Sam Raimi was producing it, because it reminded me a lot of like classic Sam Raimi work, like Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, that type of thing. And so, yeah, it's sort of a very, very raw, truthful cartoon.
I like that.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. I mean, I love the batshit crazy projects. I've done stuff like Hardcore Henry, which was just completely nuts. Yeah. And so this reminded me of that type of thing in a little bit more of a traditional package. In terms of more traditional filmmaking, but still just completely its own thing, trying to do some, really wacky, different stuff that you don't see every day, and taking sort of bold risks that you kind of just go, well, you just go all in and hope it works,
Yeah. And I'm seeing this sort of like this new, I don't want to say it's a new chapter, but these a few batshit movies. I was at the South by premiere of Monkey Man, and that movie is batshit in its own.
There you go. There's me in the batshit movies.
It's your jam right now.
I tend to sniff them out. I kind of always have. So
yeah. I think that it was like, on the indie side, you were being offered a very similar thing a lot in American films lately. And then in the studio side, it was superhero movies. And not to say that any of like all, there's definitely great examples of both of those genres, but this really, it's an exciting time, I think, for movies where you're seeing Stranger Things get. Oh my God, that's crazy. That's so.
Plug.
That was a mistake. That means I'm subconsciously disgusting.
I don't go like, oh, Monkey Man's a really good movie,
really
right?
Are you in Monkey Man?
You know what my favorite district is?
Oh my God, that sucks.
You in Stranger Things?
That's
oh my God! I only watched the first season.
I did not do that on purpose. I swear to God. I mean, maybe subconsciously, but not consciously.
Love it. I love it.
Oh my God,
I love
that was
it.
horrible.
I love it. No, it was
What
beautiful.
an
It was
asshole.
beautiful. Isaiah, like, what stood out to you from the get-go about this one?
There's movies like do you remember those movies like Toxic Avenger and Metal Storm, the destruction of Jared Sin, like those early mid 80s movies that were just kind of out there and just like wild, and that's what I liked about it. It had like a little touch of that about it. Yeah. And so when I read I didn't really get the script, I just got the sides. So I read those and I was like, I mean, if you saw the movie and know my character, I was like, this is perfect. Like I love this guy. I love that he's. I don't want to give it away, but just,
Yeah. Can we talk about what Bill Skarsgård does in this movie?
Skarsgård.
Bill Skarsgård. Can we talk about what Bill Skarsgård does in this movie?
Yeah.
Because he is just like he's running around set like a feral fucking jackrabbit or something. So the energy he brings to this movie is just completely insane, and I think he adds to the sort of manic nature of it all. What was that like for you guys to witness on set?
Well, he definitely he set the tone, I think, of work ethic. He really was so committed, and he's such a brilliant actor that. What you're seeing happen on that screen, he is very much doing. He was really, really just committed in such an intense way, but so great to work with. Yeah.
Single focus. I think that's like what I would take away from it. He just once he dialed in on what he needed to get done, that was all he saw. You know what I mean? And he got it done. Like if you look at those action scenes, like he's performing, I'd say 90% of those action scenes. Because let's go again, whatever. Like he wanted it to be perfect. So so it pays off.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't know who he was, and they said, oh, it's the guy who did the clown from It, and I was like, seriously? Like, that's going to be the guy who's kicking everybody's ass, the clown?
You're picturing Pennywise in this role?
I was literally like, okay. And then honestly, and then we got there and I was like, oh, okay, this is not the clown that I was expecting.
You wanted to fight him.
He definitely
This guy has to prove himself.
he definitely transformed from the clown. And from an acting point of view, what was interesting is, I mean, he doesn't speak through the whole movie. I mean, you don't get to do that every day. I think you and I would not want to do a movie where we didn't speak. I certainly wouldn't.
I would do a movie
Although I didn't actually, in Ted K, a movie that I did, I hardly spoke at all. Actually,
There we go.
If you want to see me not
We've
speak,
had very long careers, or not very long, but
This is the end.
substantial careers leading up to this point.
but it's Bill really having to perform without dialogue, and then they're going to voice over what you're thinking and what you're performing. I mean, it's a very unique type of performance, interesting challenge for an actor, and he kind of really crushed that.
And I think you just gave the best pull quote this movie could have. This is not the clown you're expecting. This is not the clown.
Not the clown your clown could smell like. Just saying.
Yeah.
Can't top that.
Get them all.
Can't top that.
We're all gonna get them in there. Let's get 'em
Okay,
in
I didn't
there.
know he was the Old Spice guy too.
I mean,
In
let's
South
just
Africa, we didn't
say-
get the ads, and I went to look at them after when they're like, "You don't know this guy? Like, he's hugely famous." Like, I went and watched the commercials. They're f***ing brilliant. That was also a touch of genius, like putting him like little pop culture things that they did were really fun.
Yeah, bunch of lovable flea bags in this movie.
Wow.
Anyway,
On that note,
On that note,
guys, good to see you, man.
that wasn't on purpose either.
Great to talk to you guys. Big congrats.